Hello everybody and welcome back. I'm here with Dr. Brown and today we're going to be talking about who's on the medical team, and this is a question from one of our viewers. Hi Dr. Brown.
How you doing?
Good, how about you?
Doing well.
So one of our viewers sent in this question. She said, when I go to my nephrologist's office or the dialysis unit, there are a lot of people working there and they seem to be doing different things. This is a bit confusing to me. Can you help me understand who is on my medical team?
Sure. I would be more than happy to explain the different members of the kidney team that are working together to make you a healthier kidney patient.
Great. Well, let's start with the physician. So that's going to be the nephrologist, right?
Correct.
And I know we've got a whole video on the difference between a primary care doctor and the nephrologist, so we won't go into a lot of detail, but just give a little brief statement about the nephrologist's role.
Okay. So the nephrologist is a specialist in kidney disease and hypertension, and one of their specialties is managing dialysis. So that's what they do. So they will see you usually at least once a month to make sure that your dialysis is going well. Always feel free to let them know if there's any problems while you're on dialysis. And even if you have things that are not on dialysis but seem to be giving you trouble, be sure to let them know.
Okay, that's great. And now then the other term that we hear a lot of is an advanced practitioner. So that could be either a nurse practitioner, correct, or a physician assistant.
Correct. So a lot of times the nephrologist will also have, as you said, either a nurse practitioner or a physician assistant that also comprises part of this kidney team. And that person works up under or with the nephrologist to provide care. A lot of times they will see you more frequently while you're on dialysis, and they will take care of minor issues, but if it's any major issue, a lot of times they will take that information back to the nephrologist to help create a care plan for you.
Okay, so if you do see the nurse practitioner or the physician's assistant, you can be sure that they have the expertise and also the supervision of the nephrologist, right? So you can feel comfortable in having them as part of your care team. Exactly.
They have their own training pathway, but they also work with the nephrologist, so you can feel very comfortable that that person is taking good care of you.
Great. Now, what about the nurses in the unit? Those are nephrology nurses?
Correct. So the nurses that are in a dialysis unit have a focus on taking care of patients that are on dialysis. So from what I know, there's not a specific specialty, but they do come in, they get training, and a lot of times the nurses that are in the dialysis field have been there for a number of years, such that they have an almost expertise in nursing for taking care of dialysis patients.
Okay, so they have a real interest and passion for this field. That's why they're
real
there.
interest and a real passion for that patient.
So they could be a really great advocate for patients as well.
They are tremendous advocates. A lot of times, whenever we walk into a dialysis unit, the nurses will let us know of the concerns of the patient that sometimes the patient has forgotten about. So, and that can be really important in creating a care plan for you.
That's great. So now the person who starts the dialysis treatments, that's not the nurse, right?
So a lot of times it's not the nurse. It can be one of the technicians. They have dialysis technicians. So between the two, depending on how your dialysis unit runs, one of those two can get that dialysis started.
Great. And then I think one of the really important people in the dialysis unit is the dietitian, right?
Yes. The dietitian is so important. Once the kidneys are no longer working, a patient has certain dietary restrictions that are very important in maintaining good health. And the dietitian is critical to looking at what a person is eating and trying to make suggestions and change in that patient's diet so that they can be as healthy as possible while on dialysis.
That's really important, and I would encourage our viewers to really make use of the expertise of the dietitian. That's so important, and they're so knowledgeable and helpful. Right, and then another really important person in the unit is the nephrology social worker.
Oh yes, the nephrology social worker is very critical as well. The social worker helps with so many things that go on with our patients.
Mm-hmm.
Once they get this diagnosis of end-stage renal disease, they qualify for certain benefits. Sometimes their insurance gets very complicated. If they are working, they have to have a sort of a liaison or someone that can help them navigate the various laws and benefits that may come into play once they get the diagnosis of end-stage renal disease. And that social worker is so important in addressing these different needs of the patients.
Right, so they really can help not just the patient, but their families also to access resources so that they can have a good quality of life.
Exactly, exactly.
Okay. Now I think the one person that we sometimes forget, but that's also really important, is often the first person you meet when you get there, which would be the unit clerk or the secretary, right?
Yes, yes, yes. Never forget the unit clerk or secretary. The unit clerk or secretary is the person that greets you whenever you come in. They help organize the front desk. They answer the phones. This is a very important communication person within this organization. If you miss dialysis, a lot of times they're the person that will give you a call to find out what's going on.
Right.
If you have the call to get your dialysis rearranged, that may be the first person that you speak with, and they can get you in contact with the right person. So that unit clerk is very important, and we need to make sure we recognize that role.
Right, and then because this is a complicated situation from an insurance perspective, the other important member of the team is that person who handles the finances, the financial counselor or the billing clerk. So that's another member of the team that we need to get to know a little bit better, and because they can be really helpful.
Yes, they can be very helpful. A lot of times you won't see them as often as the other members of the team, but they do handle the insurance issues. Sometimes they will work with the social worker as well. And so, you do have to recognize this person. And sometimes you may have to ask, because if everything else is going smoothly, like I said, you may or may not see that person.
Okay, so I think that's the whole team, right?
I think that's the team.
Yeah, so, well, I hope that has answered our viewer's question. And when you next go back to the clinic or to your dialysis unit, you'll know who's doing what and why, and get to know them, and it'll help to make your experience that much better. Dr. Brown, I know you've got your special message.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. So yes, I always like to end by telling people that I'm a doctor, but I'm not necessarily your doctor. So be sure to check in with your physician, nurse practitioner, or physician assistant for specific information for your medical needs. But always come back to thedocbrown.com for education on general kidney topics. Thank you.
Thank you.